Leinster 20, the Stormers 11. Leinster with a massive win in the URC Semi-final in the Aviva Stadium. They move on to the final and they get a home final in 2 weeks' time against the Bulls. A rematch of last year's final. I think this final is going to be a lot different this year. It's going to be a much better game. Leinster ran away with it last time. This year, both teams, I would say rightfully so, were the two teams on form going into this weekend. The Bulls were probably the in-form South African team. Leinster recently have just become a much better unit as one. Yes, they kind of had a disappointing Champions Cup final, but in the URC, they've really been climbing at a very steady rate and looking very good. A very unfortunate loss for the Stormers. I do feel for the Stormers fans. There was times in that game where I myself thought, oh, maybe the Stormers have a chance, but at the end of the day, the theme from this game is Stormers were just surviving the entire game and Leinster was just trying to bash the door down the whole time. But the Stormers held strong. They just couldn't hold on for much longer. It looked like they really had a chance. There was a few moments that went awry. Discipline was not in the Stormers' favour. I thought the ref did a good job before anybody says anything about that. I've seen some comments about that. At the end of the day, the Stormers players were their worst enemy. Leinster probably were the better team on the day. Actually, they definitely were the better team on the day because they won this game. And for me, looking as a complete neutral, don't look at that. I'm a complete neutral for this game. It just looked like the Stormers are trying to survive the entire game with some very good plays in there. But at the end of the day, Leinster kept bashing the door down. They kept pushing, they kept trying to get through. At the end of the day, Leinster was the better team. But before we get into the complete review of the game, this is, by the way, this is my instant reaction to the game. The final whistle's just blown. So this is my honest reaction right after the game. But if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. I really appreciate all the support. There's been a lot of Leinster fans in the comments recently. I appreciate all the support. And it's also good to see some of the Stormers fans coming through recently as well. So all the internationals are coming up. I mean, end of this month, Springboks vs Barbarians. Next month, we have some really good international games, player ratings coming up for that, match reactions, match previews and predictions as well. So much rugby content, I cannot wait. And there will be player ratings coming up for these games tomorrow morning, so stay tuned for that. Leinster player ratings and Stormers player ratings, as well as Glasgow as well. Bulls player ratings will be out today, so keep an eye on that one if you are interested. But let's get right into it. Let's look at some of the stats in the game and see what went right for some teams, what went wrong by some other teams. Now, minutes in the lead. Leinster led for 75 minutes of the game. The Stormers led for 0. I mean, if Stormers were to win this game, it would be a bit of a steal. It would be a very good stealing job. I mean, it would be like they've stolen the game at the end of the game there, and that would have been a really good steal from them. They led for 94% of the game, Leinster. Stormers obviously leading for 0% of the game. Points in the last 10 minutes, only 2 points for Leinster because they obviously scored before that. Just looking at some of the other things that happened. 2 tries for Leinster, 1 try for the Stormers. Carries 152 carries for Leinster, probably half of that, 76 carries for the Stormers, 7 line breaks for Leinster, 3 line breaks for the Stormers. The Stormers defense was really solid today. They made some really good plays and very good defensive plays. There was a few times there where the Stormers had such good defensive plays that I thought the Stormers might just win this game because they are really holding on for dear life, and that is a testament to some of their players that probably aren't the most experienced Springbok players. I mean, if you look at the Stormers team, there's not that many like noticeable, consistent Springbok guys except for Damian Willems at the back right now on this team because the other guys are injured. But the guys put up some big performances and some performances that they can be proud of, and that the coaches like Rassie Erasmus will have taken notes of. There were some really good performances. I mean, guys like Damian Willems were quite good today as well. Imad Khan was much better today as well. Yuri Mathieu was not bad. Ivan Roos was, besides his handling errors, he was solid around the park. Paul de Villiers was solid as well. Andre Smith was physical. Guys were good all over him. Chunu was really good. Andre Igufente at line-out time, besides the one that went awry, was really good. So it's not even, if you look at the teams from the outside perspective, Stormers were not the favourite to win this game. If you looked at the team sheet, Leinster was definitely the favourite. But the way the Stormers played was really good to see. They kept it close. And to be honest, going into this game, I really thought Leinster was going to win this game by a lot further than they did, especially as a neutral. So obviously I'm a Sharks fan. So just looking at this game as a neutral, I thought Leinster was going to win by further. I was thinking to myself, how on earth are the Stormers holding on for dear life right now? Then the Stormers started making plays, started playing with confidence. Wandisile Simelane started beating guys. It was really good to watch. Overall, this was a very competitive game, a really good contest. I think that's the right word for this game. Both the semi-finals were good contests. So no really one-sided games in either of the semi-finals. The Bulls vs Glasgow game was really close, and now the Stormers vs Leinster game as well was really close. Leinster had 66% possession in this game, Stormers with 34% territory, 57% for Leinster, 43% for the Stormers. Stormers forced to make 218 tackles, Leinster only 20. 218 tackles is an insane amount of tackles. I mean, no wonder the Stormers guys were cramping up. They couldn't keep going. It honestly looked like those guys were fighting for their lives. Some big performances from the Stormers. And I mean, Leinster just keep on bashing on the door. They just kept going. And Leinster didn't play bad at all. I just thought the Stormers guys did really well with their discipline sometimes on defense to not give up more penalties or more yellow cards than they did. So 1 red card, 1 yellow card from that many tackles, that much pressure on them. Honestly, the game could have been a lot worse for the Stormers looking at those stats right there. Now, looking at some of the key players, the best performers from the game, the stat leaders from the game, Sam Prendergast with 8 points, did well to kind of steer the ship there. Harry Byrne obviously came on at the end, but overall, not bad performance from Sam Prendergast. Probably might start in the next game. I'm not too sure if they'll give him a start against the Bulls forward pack. They are probably going to target him. Jameson Gibson-Park was the last try scorer, and once again, Jameson Gibson-Park was absolutely incredible today, showing his class, showing why he is definitely a top 3 scrum half in the world, probably a top 2 scrum half. On a given day, he can also be the best scrum half in the world as well. He's really good. I mean, one of the best players in the world. I've said this from the Six Nations. He can be a game changer for a team. And he understands the game so well. He takes his opportunities so well. Any sniff of an opportunity, he will take it. And he's just so clean with his basics. He does the basics so well. I mean, he's one of those players, probably one of the closest players to the perfect player in rugby right now for their position. I really do believe Jameson Gibson-Park right now probably is one of the guys, if you think of a scrum half player, if you think of what they can do for a team, he's near perfect sometimes. So he's a really good player. I mean, that's some big words there for him. Just keep an eye out for the player ratings. I think he's going to have quite a high score, and he's had a lot of high scores this year as well from the Six Nations. Caelan Doris with 21 carries and some very good carries as well. He was making some dominant carries. He was running through some big guys. He ran through Evan Roos once. He ran over Salman Marat once. Caelan Doris was an absolute menace with ball in hand today. It was really good to watch how he went about things. He was playing with aggression. He was playing with power, and he is such a good athlete as well. I have to say, there was one thing I saw. I'm not sure if you guys saw this as well. Let me know in the comments if you did see this. Josh van der Fleer, from the one kind of, where they do the dummy maul and the loose forward plays out. Josh van der Fleer gave one of the best passes I've ever seen in my entire life today. He gave I think it was about a 20-meter flat scrum half pass all the way across the field. Just go back and watch the highlights for that one. I think Leinster got a penalty after that one. I think it was in the first half potentially. But I mean, that was one of the best passes I've ever seen in my life. And it came from Josh van der Fleer, who I thought was pretty decent around the park as well. Evan Roos with the most tackles completed with 24 tackles. Yes, he made some mistakes. Yes, he's a bit hot and cold on the field. But the one thing you always get from Evan Roos is a very high work rate. As I said before, I'd love to see him in the Springbok environment, learning from guys like Jasper Visser, learning from guys like Peter Steph du Toit, kind of hanging around with them, put him in the same room as Peter Steph du Toit, let him learn a lot from him on the field, and just kind of shadow him as a player, as a person around the camp. And honestly, I think Evan Roos will really benefit from that. And he is one of those guys with so much potential in this team. He didn't take a backward step today. He was running over guys as well. He's really physical. He has a very high work rate. So definitely one to watch. I think he's going to have a very good season in the green and gold as well, because he definitely will get some opportunities. Rico Ioane with 2 line breaks. Good to see Rico Ioane score some good tries as well. I love it when Rico Ioane's playing with confidence, looking like the old Rico. And sometimes he really plays well, but I do think his best position is on the wing. But it's always good to see Rico Ioane playing some good rugby. One of the best players the All Blacks have produced in recent years. And I think he's honestly going to retire as an All Blacks legend. And he's not old right now either. He made his debut in 2017 and he was still a young guy there. So he's still got a few years left. Maybe a few caps on the wing for the All Blacks. I don't know. Let me know in the comments about that one. 2 turnovers, 1 for Evan Roos. So he won the most turnovers in this game. That just shows that he's been all over the park as well. 6 defenders beaten for Caelan Doris. Another good stat for him. And as I said, he was running over people. He was running through people, honestly, for fun. Jameson Gibson-Park with 103 successful passes. Maybe an underrated stat there, because honestly, he was really good with his pass selection, the kind of players he was selecting as well, the timing of his passes, knowing when to play quick, knowing when to slow it down, knowing when to exit, knowing when to kind of put the foot on the gas. I mean, that try he scored was just an absolute genius move as well. Good footwork. He is fast, but he's a short guy, so he's going to get caught from behind probably 10 out of 10 times. But, I mean, Jameson Gibson Park, really good try there, showing why he can always bring that individual brilliance. Now, looking at some of the other stats, Leinster had 12 entries into the Stormers 22, and they averaged 1.6 points per entry. Stormers with only 7 entries into the Leinster 22, they also only averaged 1.5 points per entry. So, in general, if you look at all the averages of the other games throughout the season, this is a very low scoring game with regards to the average points scored per 22 meter entry. That shows that the Leinster defense and the Stormers defense on their own line was absolutely rock solid. They were not giving up opportunities. They were not allowing any room for anything to happen. So that's one of those stats that really shows what a contest it was. I mean, 1.5 and 1.6 average points per entry and more than 5 entries each. That just shows it was a real contest. It was a real physical battle as well. Looking at some of the other things that happened throughout the game, 31 kicks for the Stormers, 30 kicks for Leinster, so very even there. 382 post-contact meters for Leinster. They almost ran an entire 400 meter track in post-contact meters. Now, if you don't know what post-contact meters is, that's from the point of contact, making meters after that, so beating the defender or getting through the contact, or that always gives opportunities to kind of let the ball go, keep the ball alive, which Leinster really do enjoy, just giving that extra pass, getting over the advantage line quick ruck, Jameson Gibson Park out to Sam Prendergast out the back, then they keep going. That's what Leinster really likes to do. Stormers did really well of kind of not allowing them to do it, but managing that situation of the kind of Leinster having the quick ball, having that many post-contact meters. Stormers did do well of managing that and kind of, how can I put it, not allowing them to score tries of those opportunities. They did really well doing that, but at the end of the day, just looking at all the stats, you can just tell that Leinster was the better team on the day. I mean, Stormers with 132 post-contact meters versus 382 for Leinster. There's some of the defensive stats as well. Tackles missed for the Stormers, 34 tackles missed. Tackles made, 218. I mean, all the stats are just showing that the Stormers hung in there in this game. And I know you can't just look at the stats throughout the game, but the stats do show that the Stormers were just hanging in there. Very, honestly, a very prideful performance from the Stormers. They can be very proud of their performance. They played with a lot of heart, and I do think this group of Stormers players right now are just going to get better, adding Volkulo, Sia Khaleesi coming in as well, Cheslin Colby coming back. If you add those 3 players to this team right now, the whole game might look different as well. The scrum might look different for the Stormers. The leadership might look different for the Stormers. The kind of plays where you expect something to happen because there's an opportunity, like really an opportunity happening, a big opportunity that a guy like Cheslin Colby can take. It could have been a much different game if they had those players already, but I cannot wait to see how the Stormers do next year with all the players they sign and with all the good guys coming back to the Stormers. It's going to be absolutely awesome. I cannot wait to see Volkulo there scrumming next to Ntoku Mchunu, or side by side, or one of them starting, one of them on the bench. I cannot wait for that. I can't wait for Cheslin Colby with Sasho and Ngomazulu and Kobus Reinach as well. It's going to be absolute fireworks. Sia Khaleesi, Paul de Villiers, Evan Roos, maybe Ben Jason Dixon moves to the lock position. It's going to be absolutely awesome to watch. But now we have one more game left of the URC, Leinster versus the Bulls. It's going to be an absolute fight till the very end. This Bulls team this year is not the same Bulls team from last year, and I think this Leinster team knows it. It's going to be a bruising battle. It's going to be an epic battle on the 20th of June. I cannot wait. But if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. Pay attention because the player ratings are coming out and the weekend reviews coming out on Monday as well. So player ratings tomorrow on Sunday, weekend review, and then the preview and predictions for the Prem Rugby and all those things happening early in the week. So if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to subscribe and hang around, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.